Time to code, time to code, time to code, time to code. Okay, so what if I told you that you could follow along with everything I'm doing as I'm writing code, and not only could you watch me writing code, but you could listen to a complete explanation, verbal explanation of what I was doing as I was writing the code. Not only that, but you could, if you were here while I was doing this live, type in chat messages about whatever you wanted related to that activity, maybe even some things not related to it, and I would at least acknowledge you. I mean, if you were polite and respond to what you were saying, and even if it was kind of a stupid question, I wouldn't say it was a stupid question. What if I told you all that could be yours for free? Like, it would cost you nothing. Now, don't assume that that's all the case. That's a hypothetical. Like, it may or may not happen. Yeah, I'm just kind of speculating wildly about what the future might hold. So yeah, don't get your hopes up or anything. Okay, so I'm Eric Hermanson. I have a game I'm making. It's called The God Killer. It's in Unity. It's a top-down puzzle solving type of thing. I've made games before. This will be my greatest ever. And I know some people are thinking, not your greatest. You made all these other really great games. No, this is going to be the best one right here. So you're welcome to join me. If you are catching this recorded or replay and you want to be involved in a live session, I would say check out for live coding Monday through Thursday around 6 p.m. Sometimes I go on a little bit earlier, a little bit later. I say 6 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. I got to remember we are a global community, people in different places. So yeah, Monday through Thursday in the evening, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on Sundays, I do some stuff related to the game that's more like a demo or some kind of non-programming task that you can join in. And I might do some level design. I might show off some new element of the game. So that would be on Sundays. If you're more into that, less the live coding. Sundays, 3 p.m. PST. Happy to have you. And I'm happy if you're watching this after it's already been like recorded and put up someplace. I hope you get something out of it. All right, so today, let's go on to the game. We got more blocks. I think this might be the last session with blocks, or there might be another one. But it's getting pretty close to wrapping up. As usual, gotta make a lot of squeaky chair noises here. Alright, let's hit play in Unity. I'll show you what the state of things is. This is just a test level inside of God Killer. And I've set up some blocks. You can see my little guy moving around. A lot of stub art here. A lot of stub animations. And the brown things are blocks. You can push them. Now you're expecting it maybe to move just one square. No, that's not good enough for me. When you push it, anything in this world, it just goes as far as it possibly can until it hits a wall. So it was kind of hard to see. I haven't got all the trail animations making it really clear, but in that one step, it rammed up against the north wall and then fell straight down. So I'll do this other one here and you can see it again. So it's going to go flying north, and then it'll hit the far wall and it'll drop down. Okay. So definitely the animations could make that more clear. Another power you've got is when you push blocks, doesn't matter how many there are off to the right, it's going to push them all. So 2 blocks went flying to the east. In a lesser game, you wouldn't be able to push these 2 blocks. There are 2 blocks here. See, there's one beneath me, or south of me here, another one south. The texture isn't showing that very well. In a lesser game, you wouldn't be able to push them both. You'd be like, no, it's 2 blocks, that's too much. I'm saying this is fine. You want to push 2 blocks, you want to push 10 blocks, 100, you can do it. My game lets you do it. So that's pretty cool. You gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Also, because I hate in pushing block puzzles how sometimes you push a block and it gets gummed up, and like, see, I've already pushed like these blocks against the wall, and it seems like this one in the corner I couldn't do anything with. It's stuck there forever. But I just say, like, if you push anything in this world and it can't be pushed any further, it's destroyed. Man, okay, no nifty animation showing it being destroyed, but that's the idea. We'll add the animation in later. And destroy. And then the complement to that kind of functionality is at some point, maybe after I get done with these blocks, I'll add a block generator that can constantly drops down new blocks as soon as one is destroyed or more destroyed. Okay, so that's where I was at with that. And the next thing I needed to work on is, I kind of made it hard to show by messing up those top blocks here. I'll start over again so you can see the exact situation that I'm trying to get going. Let's even do like 3 blocks just for more fun. So right now there's 2 blocks on top of this little platform here, and I will make it so there are 3. And what I'm going to do is have this guy push the blocks against this wall, have them drop down, and then they'll be all stacked on top of each other, 3 all together. So hit play there, and we'll do that, and I'll show you the situation that I'm writing code for. So let's move this guy over here and throw the first block down. There it is. And then let's take the next one. Throw that on top of the first. See, there's 2 blocks over there now, all stacked on top of each other. And then the third one. Third one is there stacked. I can fling myself over there and I land on top of the topmost block that I threw over. So all that works great. What isn't working well, remember how I said that if you push something that can't be pushed any further, it'll be destroyed. So that will work if I go to the right, but there's 2 boxes above me, and the rules of this universe are that if something is not stackable beneath an object, so in this case the player object here, or player piece in this game's terminology, if a piece is not stackable, and this piece is not stackable, and there are other pieces on top of it, they will drop down and kill the unstackable thing. So if I go east, I'll destroy that bottommost crate. Now I should also die according to the rules of the universe, so these 2 blocks should land on top of me, and that's what I'm trying to get to happen. I wrote some code for it late last evening, and I, like an optimistic fool, I tried it out and it didn't work. So now I'm just going to finish up that last little bit. I'm going to get it so that the blocks do fall down when something is pulled out from underneath of them. I'm going to go into the C# code inside of the integrated development environment, or IDE as it's also called, and get that to work. And you are welcome to follow along with me on this magical journey of code and logic and crappy IDEs that I don't enjoy that much, but I'm forced to use. I guess I'm not forced to use it. It's the best possible option I have at this point in time. So that same situation that I just showed inside of Unity, I've also written a unit test to test it out and verify that it works without having to hit play and restart and create that whole situation that I just created. So I'll just walk through this real quick. This little ASCII representation is like a miniature level. The P here is the player. Player's in this square here. This is like you're looking top down at it. And then these little periods are the floor. Over here is like some other raised up wall. Okay? And then I've got some code where I stack 2 pieces or 2 blocks just right here to the right of the player piece. Then I have some code where I make the player piece walk 1 square east, and that will basically reenact that same situation that we were just talking about. It'll destroy the bottommost block, and then the other block should just kind of drop down right on top. Okay. I know for a fact that that's not quite working yet, so I'm going to just step into it and see where it is that it's failing to do what I asked it to do. And I will do that by running the debugger. Start debugging. Go back to Unity. And instead of hitting play up here, I'm going to instead run a test inside of the test runner pane. And go ahead, save the scene. Okay. So walk. The code for doing all that stuff I want to test is called within the walk function. So I'm not going to step through all of it because I kind of know where it's going to end up at. Touch pieces at. We'll initiate that push. Okay, and then the touchable piece, which is the block, will get touched. That's this block piece here. There's the touch interface here, which is a very general way for things to sort of receive a touch from some other thing. Push gets called. So it's going to go back into the piece source. Let's see. Push. And I'll end up going to push flat. And then I wrote some new code right here to drop all the pieces above the destroyed block. I expect for this to get called, so I'm going to set a breakpoint right here. I'm just going to hit play to advance to that breakpoint. And watch me look like a fool, and it won't even go to the breakpoint. That just makes me angry. Where does it think it's going? Alright. I'm going to try it again. Let's run it again. Run it again. Sometimes the breakpoints that you ask for, they don't get hit, and it's not even the logic. Like it does actually execute, but just for some reason the debugger's fucked. So it went into push flat just like I expected, and I think it's going to come down here, but let's actually see where it goes. Okay, correct. So is push base spell false? That's as I expect. So that means there wasn't enough room to keep pushing it. So I think it's going to do a few things with visual effects there. I think it's going to, this is stackable. What is this? This is the block. Okay. So it should add the hole at the square. And, okay. So far so good. Everything is as I expected. One question I've got. One thing I was not sure about is push call and push row and push height the same as call row height? Because I know when I set die, it might do something to those. So let's see. Call 1, row 1, height 1. 1, 1, 1. So I expect push call to be 1. It's not. It's 2. That's probably my problem right there. That's probably my problem right there. Okay. Push row will be 1. Push height will be 1. Okay. That makes some sense. So I just need to correct push call and push row so that they drop the pieces in the right location. Understood. I have two versions of push, one for pushing over flat areas and one for pushing over angled areas. So I'll just do the analogous thing here. But I'm still on the fence about whether I want to be able to push crates up and down slopes. It just seems like it can lead to a lot of problems. So let's save that. I'm going to go back to Unity as soon as it'll let me. Oh, I'm still doing that. Okay, that's fine. So let's start debugging all over again and come back to Unity. And I have to wait for it to compile a little, build a little. It gives me no indication when it's done, so I'll just do run, and there, and push call is going to be 2, so let's just step in to see if it actually compiled. Let's push it. I expect C to be 1. C1? No, so it didn't finish compiling. Fine. Fine. Okay, just, are you done now? Are you done building? Let's go again. Boom. Boom. C should be 1. Okay, that's better. Since I'm already here, let's just check and see that things are going as expected. So I think that there will be an M piece directly above the square at C1, R1, H2. Well, H1 plus 1, 2. Okay, I think it'll be the block. Is it the block? Yes, it is. Now I want to find the topmost one. I can't remember. I just added 2. Okay, so the next one, the next line should actually get null. And top H should stay at H plus 1, which would be 2. Expect top H to be 2. 3. It's 3. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? Okay, so I had 1 and 2. I mean, this isn't going to work right. 1 and 2. So I expected top H to be 2. Why was it not 2? So we said get at 2. Oh, it's just a one-off error. It's just a one-off error. So I could make let's see. That makes sense. That makes sense. So this is gonna fail, and I expect it to fail. So that first one I think worked, but it's gonna go through the loop again. And this get M is going to return a null, and I can't call land on the null, so that will throw an exception. Yep, that's fine, and then it drops me in the middle of some other code that I don't care about. So let's just fix the one-off error. So we could say page plus 1 not equals null. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Okay. No, I always keep forgetting to stop or restart the debugging. Okay. Okay, as it should be. Now, did the test pass? That would be pretty cool if it did. Did not pass. Okay, which line did it fail on? 239. Let's see. 239. So the player's still alive. Okay, that's fine. So the next bit of code to go into is the code that lands the block. Drop into here. So this code here, basically. I want to step to it, or I'll run to it. It never works when I do that. When I set a breakpoint in the middle of a debugging session, never works. This is the default IDE that we get with Unity. It's yeah, debugger operation failed. This is the basic thing they give us. It's not that great. I've had many better. Let's stop the debugger. Hope it doesn't just outright crash on me. In fact, at work for JavaScript, I use VS Code. It's fantastic. But whoever the C# Unity integration team is, not so impressed. Okay, run, start debugging again. Okay, so now I'm going to land this piece. So land is the function which drops things down. Get m will just return block. All right. Okay, just making sure what I got. This should be a block. This is a block piece. Yep. Okay. Expect the land height for it to drop to. Expect it to start out incorrect. I think it'll start out at 2. So, but that'll be the height just above the block that's falling. Oh, I already see a problem. Because I'm just coming back to this same issue again and again. So it's set it to 3 because that's the top of all the blocks. Okay. So I haven't sufficiently generalized my logic here. So is stackable is going to be true, and it's going to check for a ceiling right under the height that it found the block at. But it won't find one because the stack of blocks is too high. Wait a minute, is that true? It might find one. It might find one. But if it does, then I'll still have another case where the stack is higher. So here it'll, okay, here it will work. Land height 1. That's what I want. Okay. Starting to see the issue here. So because the height is just 1, it's going down 1. There's no code that checks for destroying an M piece here. I've got code that will check if we're falling down further. So that's the confusion. So I think I see how to move the code around a little bit for that part. So it's going to correctly handle this section here. It probably even dropped the piece down. But it didn't destroy the non-stackable piece that was underneath it, which is the player. So it just returned before it did that. Okay, no problem. Stop. So I see 2 problems in there. I'm going to make note of one of them because I may have to come back to it. Well, I'll definitely have to come back to it. Yikes. Man, that was a whole bunch of boilerplate that I suddenly got. Okay. So, case of a stack of blocks 2 plus height. I just want to make sure that I don't miss that because I think that'll cause a problem. The first thing I have to do is rearrange this a little bit. Take out that return. Else, okay, fall. No, I can't just have one check for destroyed player at the bottom because in order for the move to complete to the new location, I need I need the piece to be gone. That's what this die does. So if I try to move here, if I try to move the block piece into the square where the player piece is before I call die, it will cause a problem. So why don't I just refactor part of this? I can say squash M pieces. It's not M pieces, it's M piece at int C, int R, because it's not possible to squash multiples. Ref, board, ref, effects, facts. And since I'm following through, I actually can put this here. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Then where do I put this? So if I'm already at the landing height, then there's nowhere to go. So it's right here. And I can make this simpler. Okay. I feel like this code here, it's gonna be wrong at some point. I got hiccups. Oh man. I had to take control of my respiration there. I think I stopped my hiccups by thinking unhiccupy thoughts and controlling my breathing. Oh, geez, I forgot to paste. Ah, no. I lost my clipboard contents. Okay, what was even in there? Easiest way is I'll go to Git. Alright, so I just went over to Git. Let's say git diff. Piece. And here it is. Okay, so take that, exit out there. So also I need to check that there actually is an MP set that square. So wait a minute. I think I grabbed the wrong bit of code. I did. Let's go back to Git again. This part here, that's the one I wanted. Just to make it a little more robust, let's say an M piece. Let's see, and I only want to destroy it if it's not stackable. I'm just looking at this again, thinking, can I get rid of this following or non-following section? Because what's the real difference here? It's whether this effect of falling will be shown, which right now doesn't show anything, but will at some point trigger a animation. And then there's this extra check here for, like, did the height actually change? So yeah, let me see if I can simplify this even further. Let's see. We'll add. If h not equal height, then we actually have something to do here. Okay. So let's see. H equals and height. And squash MP set. CRH move to the location. Then there's an exit check at the end. So yeah. Yeah, I think this can be much simpler. Which is one of my favorite things is deleting code. Okay, so then okay. So then let's just rename this comment block. Follow or let's say it covers following and stepping. Okay, I think that's it. What the fuck, man? Oh. 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 Will you try to find a fix for the crash? Will you really? Status: there is no fix available. Please report a bug. I won't report a bug because I'm not on the latest version of Unity. So it's bad etiquette to report bugs on old versions of software. But I won't upgrade to the next version because they friggin' put a new version out like literally every week about that cadence. And basically I create a more unstable environment for myself in developing and add more risks by continuously updating the Unity by updating Unity all the time. So you could say that there's bug fixes I miss out on, but I also know that I'm more likely to end up with like a bricked project if I just blindly hit yes update every time they prompt me. So I basically do full updates at the start of a project, and then after that I only do an upgrade if I've got a real reason to do it, like I run out of options, or I know that there's something that is in the newer update that I really want. Okay, so let's ignore that. Let's make sure all my source is saved. Let's fucking restart Unity. You lovely piece of trash. Now I feel bad because Unity has given me so much. I speak ill of it. I shouldn't do that. It's like a lot of hardworking people putting Unity together, doing amazing things. Actually, they should do less amazing things and just fix the shit that breaks like that. Like, just take some people off of the new features. Put them on bug fixing, because you got some bugs, and they're big bugs. And you're winning right now. You're out ahead of Unreal and all the other things. So you can afford... What do I know? I'm not a product manager. See, here's the new version I could get. Skip the new version. Not gonna upgrade every time you've got something new. Okay. Let's open the IDE from inside of Unity. Okay. I guess maybe that isn't necessary. My thought was it helps establish a connection of some sort. Okay, one error. What's there? What's the error? An error? What are you talking about? Ball. Okay, so some files were corrupted as a result of Unity crashing on its stupid ass. So let's clean all. Yeah, and let's build. Okay. Back to status quo. Test runner, let's see it. Let's do it. Blocks test. Destroys bottom of 2 blocks. Run. I'll just try it, see if it works right away. It's possible. It might work right away. Oh, or it might do whatever made it crash last time. Okay. So I think I've noticed a pattern. If I make a change to code while it's in the debugger, doesn't always fuck it up, but many times, or maybe like 1 time in 5, it'll fuck it up. I think that's the new best practice for me. Don't change and save code while you're running in the debugger. Yeah, okay. So let us try land again. It won't be infinite depth. It will be stackable. There will be a ceiling found. It will only be going down 1, so there won't be a piece effect. Okay. Oh, I'm wrong. Well, that's not quite right. So I should not be showing the piece fell effect if you're stepping down a slope. Well, that's okay. It's not what I'm testing right now. I'm willing to kind of leave that for the time being. I want to get into animations for people walking up and down steps. I think it'll, the right thing to do will be more apparent. Okay. So we should be at 1, 1, 1. Is that true? Yes, it's true. I think there will be an M piece here. I think it's the player piece. I'm wrong. Was it null? It was null. Doesn't seem right to me. Oh, it's because the player has not yet moved underneath. player is not yet moved underneath. Oh, God. God. I'm like picturing the logical problems in walking and like where I'm checking for things and okay. So an issue is that I used touch to move the block, and at that point in time the player has not moved into the square. So if the player hasn't moved in the square yet, then the block above the player can't like fall down and crush the player. So what I really want is for let me see. What I really want is I don't know what I want yet. I gotta think this through. There's different ways I could do it. Right now, my options seem a little bit bad as far as how to rework the logic. So whenever I get to a point like this, I just kind of list out my different options and evaluate them. So this unit test is going to fail. Let's just let it fail. What? Okay, I thought Unity was going to crash on me again. But before I go any further with that, I made some significant changes to that landing function. So I kind of wanted to see if I broke any other unit tests before I just go any further. And I can do that by just running all my tests. Just run them. See which ones fail. It would be nice if only this latest unit test that I'm working on failed. It would be pretty nice. Oh, fortune smiles upon me. Okay, so back. Landing height. Okay, what was it doing? What was I doing? Okay, let's go to walk. Now, one thing I wonder about is I probably had a good reason for it, but I'm wondering, why did I use touch here instead of just relying on the existing code here that would just push things? It was already there in place to push things. Oh, I remember why. It was because of the wall height. The wall height of the block piece was going to appear as an obstacle. Okay. So let me start listing out my different options. Problem is player cannot be destroyed. Player is not destroyed. When they push, destroy a block, and walk under a block stacked above the destroyed block. That's the problem. Why? Because touch is used to push the block, and the player is not underneath, and the blocks fall. Okay. Solution number one. Just the lazy thing. Let the player not be destroyed. Player does not move under the block. That's the current behavior, I believe. There's an argument to make it work that way. From a gameplay perspective, it might be maybe give the player more possibilities, like more opportunities to shape what the blocks are going to do. Let me bring up the right scene. So potentially that could be a plus. In fact, I might even just play it that way. Just try it out that way, just a little bit, just to see how it works. In the editor here, not the editor, the Unity player. So I'll just forget unit test just for a moment. I'll hit play. I'll just see how it plays. Because possibly it's fun, you know. But I'm dubious about it because it seems to violate the consistent rules of the universe. Okay, now I lost my falling behavior, which isn't good. So one of the changes that I made in land probably stopped that from working. So that's not good. So then I just gotta go back up and fix that. Well, before I do that, why don't I just, for fun, throw these other ones up against and see what it does. Sticky blocks. Oh, my landing for my player is kind of off too. So yeah, I made some changes that I thought would simplify the code, but they didn't actually produce the same behavior as before. So alright, so I got back up and fix that, and then I return to the other problem, which is behavior of player walking into a stack of blocks 2 or more high. Do I let that be used as a way to reduce the size of the stack by like sort of destroying the bottom and then they just kind of fall into place? Or do I make it the more consistent behavior, which is the player would destroy the block, walk underneath, the block on top would just land on top of the player dies. So it's, to a new player, that would be like really irritating perhaps. To a player who's sort of internalized how the game works, it might be more satisfying. That follows like consistent rules. Okay, so let's stop that. Let's fix the trouble that I caused by my last round of edits. Go to land. what's the difference between what I have here and what was there before? What is the real difference? Because there's got to be some difference. Use diff to figure that out. Okay, so I used to have this code. I'm just going to copy it back in so I can compare it. Okay, so it used to be this code and this code. Oh, also this code underneath. I better get this right, because it might just be one little line that's different. Yeah, okay, so that line stayed the same. Copy this in. And this was added. This was what was there previously. And then there was the exit piece check down here. Okay. So maybe I can just eyeball this and see what the difference is. If you hear a kind of a loudspeaker squawking in the background, it is these jerky people. I really don't like them. They're proselytizing, and it's not their message that bothers me. It's the way they feel it's necessary to go about giving their message. They feel that they need to have a set of loudspeakers. Just blaring out the truth according to them that everyone needs to hear. That's what they think. And when I had a message that I delivered to strangers on the street, and I won't even say what it was some political thing. I talked to stranger after stranger after stranger, ones that didn't like me, ones that believed the exact opposite thing of what I believed. And I did it hour after hour, just like them. But I would not dream of subjecting everyone to my point of view via an amplified speaker, because I'm just a human being talking to another human being. I don't deserve some technological advantage to do that. I don't deserve to be able to irritate people to get them to listen to me. I never have liked these people. They stand out there with these giant black signs talking about sins and God and everything. Again, the content of their message I don't agree with, but that's not my issue with it. It's their means of delivery. Yeah, you don't have to squawk at people as they're on their way home from work, as they're out to enjoy a baseball game. You don't have to do that. And you're kind of a dick if you do. Okay. So, the land height. Okay, so I said that if this were true, we'd add this effect. Okay. It seems to have somehow canceled out falling. So I said if h is not equal to height. Okay. Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. So here I said h equals land height. Here I said h equals land height. There's a difference in the logic here, perhaps. Land height. Still, I think this should work though. That shouldn't be an issue. But, huh. So here I didn't check h not equals land height, so that's the difference in the logic, but I think by the time I get to here, well, you know what, I could take that out. First off, let's stop, because I gotta learn my lesson about changing code while the debugger's running. I don't want to crash things with this fragile multi-million-dollar software that costs tens or hundreds of millions of dollars to develop. I don't want to crash this fragile software. I suppose I don't actually know that this change caused the problem. So why don't I do the opposite thing? Why don't, instead of trying to fix the old code, well, I mean, I'll come back to the, okay, instead of diagnosing the new code, let me just do a little check. Let's see if the old code still has the same problem. Build all that. Okay. Then just run this guy again. I saw the problem pretty quickly when I ran it. Okay, that would be the root of the problem. Do that. Although it just did something, maybe exposing a different bug. Anyways, I don't want to go off and diagnose an issue there yet. Yeah. Let's just, and the place to put these is in my cases here. So just because I noticed a problem, I want to add some test cases for it later. Make sure they're covered. Make sure that I fix that bug if it's a case of pushing one block against wall and dropping, and then on next turn, next step, pushing one more block against wall. It should fall on top of the first. Okay. Back to piece. Okay, so this isn't working like perfect or anything, but it is working better than this new code. So what if I just change one thing at a time and see how it does? So the first thing I want to do is this whole refactoring of the squashing of the M piece thing. Okay. Oh. Huh. Is this right? No, I don't think this is right. I think I copied this over incorrectly. I believe it was let's see. So, yeah, it might not be the safest thing in the world to hand edit this stuff in based on the Bombadon. Yeah, the thing that's kind of throwing me is I see this section here, and there's no closing curly brace. Oh, there it is. There's the closing curly brace. It's just, okay. I was visually grouping it with this part up here. So I need to close off the M piece here. If M piece not equals null, that's one block, and then stupid squawking evangelicals. Okay. So there's that. Okay. So that might have fixed that one weird bug that I saw. But that's okay. I'll leave the... Okay. So squash M piece. Let me just first try refactoring out that part. So we'll take this and replace it with okay. And then we take this and do the squashing there as well. Okay, so that should restore the functionality to what it was, and also add in the squashing behavior that I want. We'll see. Okay, unit test doesn't pass yet. Let's see what crazy stuff happens in the player. Okay, that much is right. Okay, that fixed that one weird bug that I saw. So that part's good. Can I land? Want to go off here? Yes. Good. Okay, so that's all good. So then it returns me back to this other question I had. Okay, so I destroyed a block. Nothing fell. God, all that work just to get back to effectively the same place. How was that? Okay. So, okay, so I know what happened though. That weird case I wanted to try, or not weird, that alternative game rules case I wanted to try was not actually implemented by the code I had. But still, I can picture how it would work. I would just end up pushing the bottom and it would cause it to drop down each time. Is that what I want? So there's a whole stack of them. I push the bottom, the stack goes down one. And I would see like some animation at the bottom of the stack of a block being destroyed. That might be okay though. That might be alright. I mean, more than alright. That might be better than the pretty unintuitive thing of you pushing a block and getting killed by something on top of it. It'll give you a little bit of extra power. So you could go up to like a big tall stack of crates, and you could say you wanted that stack to be a certain number of blocks high for a puzzle. You could drop it down. You drop it down. I don't know, it's growing on me. Because what do I get out of like the player just getting killed when they knock the stack down, knock the bottom thing off the stack? And what's worse, because the effect of them knocking out that bottom block is potentially valuable, it could create situations where in order for them to advance toward the goal, they end up having to repeatedly die, come back to that same block, destroy one block at the bottom, die again, destroy one more block, and that's just annoying. So would it be better to just not allow the player to move into the square until the last block was gone? Would that not be better? I'm coming around to it. I'm coming around to it. Okay, I'm gonna implement it that way. I think I'll get 2 wins here. It'll save me time. because it's not as hard to implement as the other thing. And the behavior is probably better. It's probably nicer, easier to figure out. And this game has so much weird stuff in it that I need to give the player a little bit of help where I can. So I think that whole consistency argument is probably not that important. Alright, but I still need to figure out why it's not falling down. And I wouldn't mind like cleaning this up a little bit more. Okay. So let's just do just a little bit at a time here. I can take the return out here. I can put this little exit check at the bottom. Right? That should just be all the same. Just trying to make reductions to this like a algebraic equation, which is kind of a brain dead way to do it, but it still works. Is this important though? This is so close to the same thing. I'm getting it closer and closer to this thing up here. So the difference is probably somewhere in here. That's probably what's important. Just see how all my unit tests do. Should just be the one failing. Okay. Let's try this. Algebraically reduce this thing. If land height minus h is less than dh, step down, then we'll show the falling, or the piece fell effect. Okay, so take that out. Okay, then there's this bit here. So I could say and that should do the same thing as okay, is this all the same? CRH, 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 CRH. Let's put that back. Here I'm saying h equals land height. Then I say if h is not equal to height, and do this whole moving thing. So why does this fuck up? I don't get it. Alright, let's just put this back. You know what? This isn't like the main thing I'm trying to solve. And it's not that horrible and ugly. Let's just take this out, put it back. So I'd really like to get that bottom block test case to work. So, okay. Okay, so if I don't know why it's... Oh, that's right, that's right. Okay. That's right. So, okay, so... It's not just if there's an M piece there. If it's empty, it should move all that stuff down. So that would be the thing to check. Land. I want to do the land that's based on this part here. So M piece util. Right here. That's what I want to see work. So let's start debugging. Let us run this baby. Okay. Don't care about get M. Keep going. Okay. Land. Okay, I'm at 1, 1, 2, 0. Oh, I haven't gone in yet. Okay. Let's see. This base 2. Okay, that's fine. I could just check there. Okay. Won't be infinite depth. It is stackable. It does have a ceiling underneath of it. The land height will get set to 1. This is the small step, so it'll go into this block. Okay. So H, here I'm curious. H is 2. Land height is 1. H is 2. Height is 2. H is 2. Oh, but I have to go down 1, and now H is 1. Okay. So that will take me into here. There's no M piece there. There's no M piece because the player didn't actually move into it. So M piece will be null. That's fine. And we didn't squash the player, but we can move there, right? So we can move to the next lower spot. That should be fine. That should work. It's not, though. It's not working. Makes me wonder what's up. Okay. So it is stackable. We're going to add a hole at where it was, and add a wall where it's going to. We're going to say that since it's only moving 1 square, we go in the first block of code here, occupy the square. Maybe I'm missing an effect that would show what's going on. Okay. That could be it. That could be it. So what effects would I have added there? So here I've got the piece falling effect. I think that might be my problem. Visually, I'm not showing it falling. I'm not moving the transform that corresponds to the block game object inside of the Unity scene. Logically, I think I am updating it correctly. So I can check that with the unit test. Okay. So the expectations of my unit test have changed. I now expect the player to be alive. I expect the first block piece to be destroyed. I expect the second block piece to have moved to where the first block piece is. I expect the player to have remained. In the square they started at. Okay. I'm also thinking there's one other side effect from the gameplay perspective that could be good or bad. Breaking a box or a block without moving allows you to change your pushing parity. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that makes for interesting gameplay. I don't know. Let me see if the unit test is going to do something good or bad. Oh, I probably updated it too fast there. I expect it to fail. I think I forgot something. Okay. So let's try that again. So this is weird though, because I saw it landing where I thought was the right place. Make sure I'm looking at the right thing. So this is a block piece. It's a block piece I expect it to be at 112. Yep. Okay. So then let's land her. Land that piece. Okay. So I think it'll go down to here. He'll move that to CRH to be, okay, I think it's going to go down here. Jesus, I can never set a breakpoint while it's already running. It just... Are you going to crash on me? God damn it. Jesus. What are you doing? What do you even think you're doing? Oh, God, so stupid. Garbage IDE. Do I force quit you? I don't like to force quit. I really don't. At this point, it's not going to recover. Yeah. You're... Okay. So then let us... reopen the goddamn piece of shit IDE. Test runner. Go. Okay. Let's do the land. Let's do the land. Wait. What? Oh no, this is fine. Okay. So this should be 112. Yep. Here I'm just stepping through everything because I know when I set a breakpoint while it's already in the middle of running, the results are highly unpredictable. That would be the nicest way to put it. Okay. So now I expect H to be 1. C, R, all 1. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to check is, what does the board look like? Board. My M layers I expect to have 2, 3. Two. Okay, I'll go with that. So the one I care about is it at height 1. That's key 1. And the value, it should be in the squares at 1, 1. There's a block piece. Okay, that's all good. Yeah, I don't care about the exit piece. I don't know why I'm stepping through that. So let us see what the unit test is upset about. Because so far it looked pretty correct to me. Okay. Got done pushing. Okay. This should exit. Okay. Knobs to activate. I think there are no knobs to activate. Yep. Okay, done touching. Man, I have to go up quite a bit. Okay. So I think this is the player. It is the player. I think the player's still alive. True. Okay, now question is, will the player be able to continue walking into the square? I think the player should be able to. Now that I think about it, I think they should. They should go on top of the block. Right? Oh, that's weird too, though. God. Okay. I don't think the wall will block. I think it is a step up. So I'll be walking on top of the block. That's not intuitive behavior. It does make sense for the code to treat it that way, but that's kind of weird. Okay, I understand at least. Okay, so it's not blocked. We'll walk on flat, and the player will now be at 1-1-2. Let's check that. 1, 1. Then height. This is the one that might be wrong. 2. Okay, that's where they went, as I predicted. Was it blocked? No. True. I think that's right. Okay, this is a mistake. So I've got yep. Okay, 1-1-1. That should be block piece B, and then this, the one beneath is the one that's going to be firing, but it's got 2 mistakes. So that one will succeed, this one will fail. Yeah. Okay, so what I really had meant to put here was player piece, but I'm seeing that the code is making the player step on top of the block. So I want to see that for myself, what it looks like inside of Unity Player. I think it's going to look really bad, just weird, and not be what I want. But let me just try it out. Okay. So what do I think will happen? I think he'll destroy the bottom one. I think he'll hop on top of the top one. Okay, that is what happened, but there's also a problem of me not including an effect that will drop this piece down visually. So game logic wise, the piece is down there, but visually it's not. So I have two problems. One, visually updating the piece, and the second is, do I like this new behavior where when there's only one block left in the stack, the player just hops on top of it? I don't think I do. So let's go back. Let's see. So this is, I think I really want the behavior that was asserted in this test case. The player would just stay there. So let's go back to here. And I'm trying to avoid like writing special casing around blocks in this. But basically what I want to happen is that when the player does that destroying of a block, they don't continue moving into that space. So I want to see if I can express that in a general way instead of is the player touching blocks way. So just before I forget about it, I think I've more or less decided I'll use the certain solution for that, so I can delete that. To do effect for block dropping 1 square down. Okay, and I think I know how to detect that automatically. I think I know how. Okay, so then the thing I want to be able to do is okay, what are in some general case do not move into the square being touched. So I could use touch. Touch returns false if any movement into square should be canceled. Pass return value to touch pieces. Back from touch pieces at, I don't know, it feels like I'm kind of pretending to be general, but I'm not really, because this is such a weird set of logic here. Number 2, let's come up with something better than that. What else could I do? Just special case it on block. Special case on block. How exactly? Let's see. Touch pieces at returns list of pieces touched. If one of them is a block piece, and the block piece is still at, oh god, this feels like crap. This feels really crappy. Touch square, then cancel movement. Number 3. So far I hate all the solutions I have. but number 2 I hate the most so far. Another kind of special casing option. I could look at the effects. I really want the effects to be opaque though. Should be opaque to the logic and the game logic. Still, I'm gonna write it down because it's sort of a brainstorming phase. Even bad ideas sometimes help. Look in effects for some effect that indicates a block destroyed. Okay, I think I've got better solutions. So I could say if the wall height initially blocked, if the land height initially blocked greater than or equal to, then didn't, and then went to one, then cancel movement. That's bad too. That's bad. So far, I hate all of these, and number 1 is kind of the best. Alright, touch pieces at bool block movement. Okay. Touch has ref bool block movement. This is my new favorite. This is my new favorite right here. Because it doesn't pretend to be so incredibly general. I mean, it's a variation of number 1, but it doesn't return true or false to say what should happen. I guess using true or false, using a return value to pass the behavior back makes it feel like I'm pretending it's more general than it is. Whereas if I have a special variable, it can be set. If it's not set, it won't do anything special. Okay, this one's my favorite so far. So let me go to touch. I touch. I touchable. Okay. So what if we said, what if I told you that, damn, this is already kind of complicated, but anyways, now it's to activate. I think ref bool block movement. Then, since it's like gotten pretty long here, Like it's auto-generated summary. Touch the specified touching place. It doesn't sound like something you want to be around for. Okay, touch the specified touching place. Touching piece. Okay, I guess that's a little bit better. I don't know. I understand this is probably some nice thing used to automatically generate documentation somewhere, but it looks really butt ugly. So let's just, I won't even worry about documenting all these. Let's just do block movement. If set to true, then any movement of the touching piece should be canceled by calling code. Okay, that's what it means. Touch pieces at, and we say ref block movement. Actually, not ref, out bool block movement, and then let's change eye height or eye touchable. Out bool block movement, back to piece. More block movement. Oh, I thought of an even more elegant way to do this. Even better. I already have this thing called stunned. I have a thing called stunned. And any piece that's stunned should be prevented from moving And instead of creating like an all new interface, I can just stun. So if I say is stunned. Okay, so touching can stun a piece. That would prevent it from moving. That makes sense. So now I just need to add in the code that will stun the player when they push something. So if I say alright, then it gets a little bit hard again. So I could say that if after the push there is something else in the M square, we'll stun the touching piece, which in our case is the player. So if board get M CRH not equal null. Something else dropped into the square, into this square. To prevent the touching piece from stun touching piece to prevent it from moving into this square. Okay, touching piece stun. Okay, I need to make stun be public. That's fine. Stop debugging. Stop debugging. I just saved. I don't want it to crash again. Okay, stun. Okay, cool. Getting close. Oh no, it's getting close to 8 o'clock too, which means it's near dinner time. We're gonna have to start making dinner. So the last thing was inside of land. If we're falling, then I want to show the piece fell effect. So I'm going to show it in a different way than what I had before. So I'm going to say pool is falling equals C not equals call or R not equal row. Okay, and we'll say if is falling. Actually, we say C equals call, R equals row. Okay, so if is falling, we'll add this effect. No longer make the definition of falling be if you went up or down, if you went down more than one okay, so we'll say, make it a little more robust. We'll have it say if is falling equals, you're not moving along the XZ plane. And your land height is less than your current height. Okay. And there's some okay, so the issue is I want this piece fall effect to show even if you're just dropping down one level or one height, but I don't want it to show if you are moving up and down steps. And the thing about moving up and down steps is that your column and row changes, so that will distinguish it between a one square drop, which should also be falling. So let's build that. Okay. So many changes I made. Okay, not winning yet. Okay, destroy. Step through it. Oh, I'm starting to get tired. I really want this to work before I stop. So come on, where? No, you're walking now. You're walking, Phoenix. Okay, so here's the question. If I touch pieces, will I be stunned? Can I be stunned with this test case? Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. I think that was not. Oh shit, it worked. Really? Wow. Okay, let's run them all. Cool. All right. Now let's see if the effect logic works. So far, so good. But that wasn't the thing that failed. Okay, so now I expect to stay in place and for the stack to go down by 1. That's what it did. That's what it did. Oh, cool. Man, that was a lot of work. No, it wasn't that much work. It was like 2 hours and change. The thing about these sessions, it feels like I'm just not getting much done, but if I'm honest about it, it's just that it's like people who might be watching me are my boss, and I can feel their impatience. I can feel like bored people watching me. And actually, they probably don't care when I do good programming or troubleshooting. That is not actually what entertains them at all. I don't know what entertains them. The finished game is what entertains them. Me on the stream is not that entertaining. I'm pretty sure of that because so far, if I look at my views, I could go and play like an existing game. I can go play a game that's not that popular called Drod, and I can get like 60, 70 views. I'm not bragging. That's like nothing compared to I don't know, just any kind of low-level streamer. But live coding, though, I cannot get people too interested in this. I don't think. I just don't think it's that inherently interesting. So I'm kind of really doing this almost more for me than I am for viewers. I mean, if I get somebody that is really into this, that's cool. That's really cool. And by the way, if you watch this and you're really into it, I mean, send me a nice note. You don't have to rave about it or anything like that. Just say, hey, I liked your stream. Your stream didn't suck. You're okay. Something like that. I suppose that would mean something to me. Nah, it wouldn't mean a huge amount. Don't worry about it. I take it back. I've got like all kinds of things that I should be basing my self-worth on that have nothing to do with that. So yeah, I don't actually want to like get all caught up in the Twitch viewers thing. I say that kind of in a sour grapes way almost, because I'm like not getting any Twitch viewers. And then as soon as I had some Twitch viewers, I'd be like secretly really excited about it. But then when I came on the stream, I just pretend like, oh hey, I have some Twitch viewers. Like it doesn't matter. Yeah, anyways. Let me just exit out of here. It's a good time to stop. Right after a success. And yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I think I might be ready to move on to the block generators, and those in combination with the blocks kind of means it's party time with blocks. Like I can set up levels with puzzles in them, and it can actually be something. Like right now I've got a little playground, and you notice that I just like erased all the blocks from it, and the part that's missing is what adds them back. That's the block generators. I might come up with a better name for them than that. But with the block generators and the new fairly unique mechanics that I put there for the blocks. I think it'll get really cool. I think it'll actually be pretty fun. Okay, good time to end the stream. Thanks for watching if you watched. If you didn't watch this, then I've got nothing to say to you, and if I did, you wouldn't have heard it. So, bye. Gonna stop the stream. Stopping it. Stop.